That green paste on your sushi plate, it is a lie. A multi-billion-dollar lie. If you were eating at 99% of sushi restaurants in the world, yes, even the expensive ones, you are not eating wasabi. You are eating a mix of common horseradish, hot mustard, and green food dye. Real wasabi is one of the rarest, most expensive plants on Earth. It costs over $100 a pound. It loses its flavor exactly 15 minutes after it is grated. The stuff in the tube, that can sit on a shelf for 2 years. So, how did the entire world get tricked into thinking horseradish is a Japanese delicacy? It turns out this is a story of economics, botany, and a massive corporate substitution that started over 100 years ago. To understand the scam, you have to understand the real thing. Real wasabi, or Wasabi japonica, is a diva. It doesn't grow in dirt like a normal vegetable. It grows in natural spring water. It requires a constant flow of cool, pristine water over its roots. It takes between 12 and 18 months to mature. Because it needs such specific conditions, it only grows wild in the stream beds of Japan. Even today, with modern technology, it is incredibly difficult to farm. When you grate real wasabi, you aren't just making a paste, you are unlocking a chemical reaction. The plant contains enzymes that, when crushed, release isothiocyanates. These vapors hit your nose, not your tongue. It's a fragrant, sweet heat that vanishes in minutes. This is why real wasabi cannot be sold in tubes. By the time it hits the supermarket, it would be flavorless. It has to be eaten fresh, right now. And that makes it a terrible product for a global industry. Enter the Western world. In the early 20th century, as sushi began to travel out of Japan, chefs hit a wall. They couldn't import fresh Wasabi japonica. It rotted before the ships even docked in San Francisco or London. But they needed that spicy kick, so they looked at what they had. They looked at horseradish. Horseradish is the tough, cheap cousin of wasabi. It grows in the dirt almost anywhere. It is aggressive, spicy, and, most importantly, it is white. The problem? Horseradish tastes different. It hits the back of the throat with a burning sensation, not the nose like real wasabi, and it looks like white paste. The solution was simple and deceptive. Take the white horseradish, add mustard powder for thickness, add citric acid to stabilize it, and then dump in green food coloring. Suddenly, you have a product that looks like wasabi, burns like wasabi, sort of, and costs 1% of the price. It was the perfect crime. Restaurants realized they could buy a kilo of this fake paste for the price of a single stalk of the real stuff. But is it illegal? Technically, no. This is where the labeling trick comes in. In many countries, if you look at the label on that tube in your fridge, it doesn't say wasabi as the main ingredient. It often lists horseradish first, followed by wasabi flavor or wasabi extract. Because real wasabi is so rare, food regulators have allowed this substitution to become the standard. It's like selling a diamond ring where the diamond is actually glass, but everyone agrees to call it a standard diamond. If you go to a grocery store in North America and pick up a jar of wasabi powder, you are buying dried horseradish. If you go to a typical sushi train, you are eating the green-dyed paste. The industry has normalized the fake. Most people have never tasted the real thing, so they don't know the difference. We have been trained to think that wasabi means painful throat burn, when real wasabi is actually subtle, sweet, and herbal. So, how do you know if you're being scammed? First, look at the texture. Real wasabi is grated from a stem. It looks like a paste, but you can see the fibers. It is not smooth like toothpaste. Fake wasabi is perfectly smooth like Play-Doh. Second, the price. If your sushi meal costs $15, you are eating fake wasabi. Real wasabi is a luxury add-on. High-end omakase restaurants will sometimes charge you an extra $10 just for a fresh grating of the real root. Third, the smell. Put your nose over the green mound. If it smells sharp and chemically like a cleaning agent, it's horseradish. If it smells sweet, grassy, and makes your eyes water gently, it's the real deal. And there is one more reason to care. Health. Real wasabi is a superfood.
Those chemicals we talked about, they have powerful antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties. Samurai warriors allegedly ate it to prevent food poisoning from raw fish. The fake green paste, it has almost zero health benefits. It's mostly starch and oil. The antibacterial properties that protected the samurai are gone. You are just eating spicy green-colored filler. So, next time you squeeze that little tube, remember you aren't eating a Japanese delicacy. You are eating a Western workaround that stuck. It's a story of how the world fell in love with a flavor it never actually tasted. Have you ever tried real wasabi? Or have you been eating the green horseradish your whole life? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to know the truth about what's inside your foods, make sure to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.